worst companion ever!
What the hell? Hey man, I thought we were bros. Okay, alright, whatever, Dr. Vincent. Get in your magical blue box and ride away. Whatever, man, we're breaking up like the Beatles.
You're like Yoko Ono and John Lennon combined together in one. You know, breaking up the band here. Whatever, man. Keep our music.
Dude, where you been, man? I'm waiting for an hour. We gotta shoot the Doctor Who review.
Whoa. You're here, but you were there.
You know, I was over there. I was at the set. Dude, just tell...
What the hell are you talking about right now, man?
What are you talking about? There you playing! Tardis is still right in front of me!
All right, you know what? All right, look, the door's open. Let's get to the bottom of this, huh? Come on, man.
Bottom of what?
Come on.
What the hell's been going on?
So what the hell is this, man? I mean, what kind of game are you playing here? Don't act like you don't know what this is.
What do you mean I don't know? I mean, it's the TARDIS, but it can't be the TARDIS.
Oh, you built that damn thing. Come on.
I built the damn thing? Dude, I failed my shop classes. You think I could put this rig together?
If you didn't build it, who the hell did, man? Wait,
At the engine?
are we taking off?
Maybe, I don't know.
This is real? This is real? Oh my god! Wait! What's up? Dude, it's real! Dude, we're going through time and space and we could die!
Okay, I was with you up to that point.
I mean, so if you're not him and he's not you, then where's the Doctor?
Wait. Hold on, my mind's blown as it is. Who's him? You've got a story to tell, man.
All right, let me catch you up to speed.
No way.
Yes, Way. So, we're going through time and space to God knows where, and there's no Doctor at the controls.
The Doctor looks like me.
What the hell are we gonna do?
Well, I don't know how to pilot the TARDIS, neither do you. This is the perfect setting. I mean, you want to continue on with the review?
At a time like this?
Unless you got a better suggestion, brother.
Okay. All right, fine, let's do it.
Where the crapper this place is. Hey everybody, welcome back to Review of the Nerds. I'm Vincent.
And I am Mike, and today we're going to be reviewing Capaldi's Doctor Who seasons thus far.
Alright everybody, so for the past 2 years we've had the 12th Doctor played by Peter Capaldi. Technically the first time he showed up was in the 50th anniversary special, was a close-up on his eyes as all the Doctors united to save Gallifrey. Then, first time he officially appeared would be in The Day of the Doctor, where we see Matt Smith regenerate into Capaldi, when it was quite the snap of a regeneration.
Single tear for Matt Smith. Matt Smith is awesome.
Yeah, it was a hard transition for a lot of Whovian fans because, I mean, everybody loved David Tennant. He really got the show popular, and Matt Smith came in and just kept that, that roller coaster going, and the show became even bigger. And when it was announced that he was going to, retire, a lot of fans took it hard. And also there was a lot of weird backlash when it was announced that Capaldi was going to be the Doctor because, well, he was the first older Doctor of the new series.
He's also known for playing cursing assholes.
Yeah, I remember all the memes and videos online. I'm just like, oh, these fucking Daleks and this goddamn piece of shit. Like, it was pretty funny for a while. And I actually saw a quick clip of the show that he's famous for doing like that. And yeah, I get it.
The fear a lot of fans had is that Peter Capaldi is going to bring that asshole persona to the Doctor, and Stephen Moffat kept reassuring everybody that wasn't going to be the case. But if you watch a good bit of the first season Capaldi's in, he's a bit of an asshole.
Yeah, he does have a bit of a weird edge. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that during the regeneration, there's shown that he has some memory loss about stuff he's done before, and especially he seems to have lost a lot of his knowledge of human social etiquette. So he acts very odd and sometimes even more arrogant than the previous doctors around people. And that I think he's just one of those guys where his doctor is, this is the facts, this is reality. You gotta deal with it, and he doesn't necessarily throw it in his face. He just, I think part of him just expects people to get it at first, but then he's got to explain it.
Well, yeah, but it's interesting as the show goes on because they were heading in one direction with the character, and I feel like a lot of people were complaining because very quickly, especially near the end of the season, going into Last Christmas special, he starts changing. He starts opening up. He starts becoming a little kinder, a little more empathetic, and especially in the new season, he's definitely much more compassionate. I feel like they really loosened him up a bit. And I think it's probably because people did not like the Doctor being so arrogant. I don't know, a dick.
It could be that I actually kind of liked it. I mean, it was so different than previous Doctors. He's not trying to be a dick. It's just this is this is reality. This is the science. These are the facts. However, I think what helped a lot was during season 1. We're going to get into this a little more. Him and Clara almost had a separation, and I think that maybe have jogged him up a bit. And especially even going into season 2, we see instances that Clara is trying to help him with his social etiquette and his manners and how he interacts with people.
Yeah, you could make the argument that his Doctor has an arc, and that I guess is cool. I don't know if it's intentional or not though, because there's an article that Variety wrote where they basically suggested that they think that Stephen Moffat changed the course of the ship because he knew that it wasn't working. So whichever one's true, I have no idea. But you could look at it on the positive side that hey, it gives him an arc. He starts off a dick, and he's now become a nicer, more compassionate Doctor.
All right, so his first episode was Deep Breath, which was a pretty good episode. Capaldi, he's regenerated, and the TARDIS ends up in Victorian England with their friends, Vostra, Jenny, and Strax, which is always fun to see those people.
It's surprising they haven't had their own spin-off show yet.
I know, even Matt Smith said they should get a spin-off, but they haven't yet. And I'm like, damn it, BBC, get on that shit, because they are fun and exciting, and you can see, I love the interaction. Anyway.
Yes, Strax is awesome.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. Anyway, back to Capaldi.
Okay, boy!
Yeah, so it was a good episode.
I really enjoyed also, because they knew how much people loved Matt Smith, I really enjoyed that ending where you got one final goodbye. And it was almost like, Moffat was kind of granting the audience a way to say goodbye to the Doctor one last time, as Matt Smith's version. And it was really creative how they did that, and you kind of could see how Clara at first was opening up to Capaldi's Doctor, but of course they have a lot of conflict later, but I thought it was a good way to transition. It was a good choice.
Yeah, no, definitely liked the episode. I liked how throughout most of the episode they, he's just very confused, total brain scramble, which, by the end of the episode he came out of for the most part. So I like that.
And this is also the introduction of Missy, who is this mysterious woman that is claiming to be in the afterlife that we see periodically throughout the season, and we don't know who she is, and she has ties to the Doctor.
Yeah, they definitely built her up a ton.
Yeah, and, spoiler, but she turns out to be a regeneration of the Master.
Missy? Mistress?
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely a very unique take on the Master, and I actually was really on board with it. I thought she was really good, brought a different take to it, and there's something very snaky about her, very... I don't know, serpent-like to me. I mean, she's an attractive woman. I'm just saying that in terms of Well,
no, she's deceptive. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
she's also very crazy. She totally plays up the loony, goofy aspect of a villain. She just revels in how goofy and silly and insane. She's kind of she reminds me of the Joker in several ways, and I like that. I think it's a cool way to do the Master.
This also supports the idea that the Doctor could regenerate into a woman.
Yeah. The Robot Sherwood, later episode. That was also another great one. Totally funny, totally hilarious. Watching the Doctor and Robin Hood interact with each other and try to compete for the alpha male position. Just watching them two just arguing and making the situation worse. And the Doctor can't accept the fact that Robin Hood's real, and Robin Hood, he's just being him and his married men. They're just doing their shit.
Honestly, a lot of issues that I had with the first season was I didn't think the Doctor and Clara worked as well as Matt Smith's version of Dr. Clara at first. I mean, they eventually came to their own, but when Robin Hood came on, I thought he brought out the best in Capaldi. They were hilarious together, to the point where I even wondered why you couldn't make Robin Hood a companion.
Oh, you can't fuck with history that much.
No, but I have an alternate version of this story in my head where what if he did turn out to be a robot? And it would have been cool, like an android that believed he was somebody that he's not, and he doesn't know where he belongs anymore, and the Doctor gives him a place in the TARDIS. I think he could have done a lot with that character. I really, really liked that guy's take on Robin Hood, and I love the way they interacted together. He could have been such a great companion. Caretaker, the next episode, I thought was pretty good. We got to see the Doctor assume the identity of a janitor in the school that Clara works at, and there were some comedic opportunities there and stuff like that. There was some story threads that I didn't feel like ever had a payoff, like that little girl he brought in the TARDIS. I think that maybe there was something going on in the production of that first season with Capaldi where they didn't know if Jenna Coleman was going to be back as Clara, and it's like they were preparing for her to leave, like they were setting up her boyfriend, Pink, right?
Yeah, Mr. Pink.
Yeah, Mr. Pink, which don't confuse with Reservoir Dogs.
Why do I gotta be Mr. Pink?
But they were setting up this boyfriend and the temptation to leave the Doctor and the TARDIS, and this unfortunately brings me to one of the issues I really have with the season. Mr. Pink was really just a dead-end story thread that never had a really good payoff to me, and I never liked the way they utilized him. Not like the actor is bad or anything, it's just that he and Claire are always fighting. They were always fighting. Every time we saw them, they were fighting. It's like, why the hell are you guys together? You guys have like this soap opera relationship where you're constantly at each other's throats.
I mean, yeah, there were definitely arguments going around, which centered around, the Doctor, because, with Clara, I think one of the aspects I liked about this season was that Clara, her and Doctor's relationship has some cracks in the fault, on top of the fact that, this man that she loves now doesn't exactly approve of the Doctor, and he just wants her to be safe, and he thinks, he's too dangerous and all that stuff. However, I don't think they set up their relationship well enough. I didn't completely believe the relationship. I did like at the end of the season what they did with Danny. I thought that was very touching. However, the build-up beforehand, I think, could use a little more work.
Pink was an issue I had throughout the whole season. I felt like they set him up and they didn't know what to do, and all they had was have him bigger. They got along at the very best. The best I ever saw of the relationship was the fantasy version in Last Christmas, where I was like, oh, now I can see why they're together, because in her fantasy, they get along really well. But in reality, they never really got along that well. And yeah, the weakest part in The Caretaker for me was the Matrix Neo-style backflip. That was ridiculous.
That was a backflip, it was a front flip.
Was it a front flip?
It was a front flip.
Whatever, it was still an Avengers-style Captain America front flip.
What would you not do for the woman you loved?
It was insanely over the top and ridiculous. That was stupid. And the payoff for the character, I felt like Last Christmas fixed some of the things with that character, because Last Christmas I really felt like is when you kind of got a better understanding of why Clara had feelings for him, and they did a good job saying goodbye to the character in that episode, but beforehand I wasn't really satisfied. Okay. We come to a pivotal moment in the season, though, where, Kill the Moon, where the Doctor basically, which this just shows that he's kind of a dick at first. He's willing to sacrifice Clara and everybody just because he believes that she's going to make the right choice, but he doesn't know for sure. And you could have killed everybody.
Yeah. I think, once again, this is one of those examples we're talking about earlier, the way, not only just his social etiquette, but the way, he understands humans. He seems to be, a lot more falling back on the more alien aspects of his personality and how he views the world. And, if it was if he'd done that to another alien, or maybe to a fellow Gallifreyan, they would have been more understanding of why he did what he did. But he seems to have lost his understanding of how humans feel and interact and, view reality. And I think that's what came into play here. He thought, oh, she'll understand. She's totally going to get it. Right?
Well, right, she didn't.
Right. Yeah, but she did. Yeah, that's the thing. I think the Doctor, it's one of those moments where you feel bad for Clara. You too are kind of pissed at the Doctor. You see what he explains himself at the end of the episode. However, it was kind of a cool idea. I mean, Doctor Who has done monumentally insane stuff before. I mean, in this episode, the moon's an egg for a giant space creature. Cool. I'm down with it. We've had seasons where, entire, civilizations riding on the back of a space whale or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like to put the whole civilization on a bet that he's betting on her to make the right choice was ridiculous. And they broke up a little bit after that, obviously, but then they came back together. There's some good episodes here. I really feel like Capaldi's first season is hit or miss. There are some episodes that are hits. I really enjoy the episode Flatline, where the TARDIS is shrinking, and the Doctor is there's like parts where his hand comes out to move the TARDIS off the train tracks.
Yeah.
You remember that? That was great.
It was like Thing from the Addams Family, just like moving along or something. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, that episode was great. That was a really creative episode. I really enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah, I know. And it's one of those really good episodes where Clara really gets to be more in the dominant role, because the Doctor gets trapped in the TARDIS as it shrinks and shrinks more and he can't get out, and he's got to put all... It's one of the ones where, like, okay, he's got to put all his trust and faith into Clara that she's going to be able to figure things out, because, like, their communication's getting broken off. I thought it was a good episode. You know, I've heard people complain before in the past that, you know, ever since Moffat took over as a showrunner, that the ladies aren't getting as many chances to, like, the ladies don't save the Doctor like former companions have before in the past. So I think it's one of those episodes where he gives total lending to Clara and her abilities and how good character she is. I know a few people don't like Clara, but I actually don't think she's that bad of a companion. I don't know if she's the greatest, but I would far from put her in the worst pile.
No, I like Clara. I just think that sometimes her chemistry with Capaldi hasn't worked, and they've fixed it since. It's fixed now. But for the first part of the first season of Capaldi's, I felt like they were not mixing. It just wasn't working, and to the point where I wanted to get off the show. I was like, I'm tired of this interaction. They just aren't working together. But they fixed it since, so you know.
Well, I think that was the whole point of the first season. You know, are they still going to work together?
Yeah, but they made
but
they made to the point where it was almost not enjoyable to watch them together at all.
I can understand.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't fun. Like it wasn't working. I don't think. But then we get to the end of the season where we have the payoff about Missy and how she's basically taking everyone that's died and putting their consciousness into the Cybermen, or using their into this net and
nether sphere.
Yeah, and then to leave the bodies open for Cybermen possession and stuff.
The part one was really good. It had a ton of build-up. Where finally the Doctor and Clara are finally meeting Missy. They don't know Missy's been following them all the time, but she has. Finally getting into that. We have this moment where, like, you know, Clara, she loses Danny. Danny's dead. She wants to get him back, and she puts the Doctor into a horrible position where she basically betrays the hell out of him. I mean, he simply has every right to, like, get off my, farewell, I'm done with you. But no, he understands the immense pain and psychological trauma she's going through losing the man he loves, and he stays with her true. And at that moment, you realize, yeah, they had some hardships, but now they're fucking together on this. They are the Doctor and his companion. Yeah. However, part two is where things get odd. Because once again, this nether sphere thing is so... Why? I never understood the necessity for the nether sphere. Cybermen, which is what this whole Missy's building a whole Cybermen army of the dead. The Cybermen have never had a need to keep the person's normal mind and emotions, awake and aware. They've always just suppressed them or deleted them altogether. So I don't know why the Cybermen suddenly needed this nether sphere. I don't see how this improved or upgraded them. I don't understand why Missy used it. I mean, Mike, do you feel any different? Or?
I mean, for me, it's just I didn't feel like the payoff was there. The whole season they were building up to this moment, and I didn't feel like it really paid off. I don't know. I wasn't totally satisfied with it. And it doesn't explain things like why the robotic villain in the first Deep Breath episode would be in the heaven thing. I mean, inside that network. I mean, because he doesn't have a body for the Cyberman to possess. He had a robotic body. Why the hell is his consciousness in there?
I mean, I would assume he has some kind of electronic brain, so maybe they could download to another sphere, but
why? But the whole point is to leave the bodies vacant for Cybermen to possess them or something, right?
Yeah.
So he has a robotic body, so Cyberman's not going to possess that.
I mean, it'd be one thing if they showed that the nether sphere keeps their human mind completely separate from, like, the cyber body. That way the Doctor can't, like, do what he's done in previous seasons and switch it back on. But we see at the end of the episode when we see Danny converted into a Cyberman, takes off the face mask. Yeah, he's still connected to his body. He's still in there, even though he's in this nether sphere thing. So I didn't get it. It just made Missy's plan seem overly convoluted.
Yeah, there's an issue we run into with Stephen Moffat with a lot of these later seasons. We're going to get a lot more heavy into it when we go into the second season, but he's increasingly with time started to neglect
logic, reason.
Yeah, logic and reason. He's just throwing things willy-nilly all over the place. Like, you'd think they'd have a board of cards across it for different plot points. He's throwing darts at it. Like, okay, we'll do this and we'll do that, and to hell with if it makes sense or not. There's a lot of really random things that are happening in these later seasons, and really things don't make sense or tie together a lot of the time. And this finale of season 1 is one of those things where it didn't quite come together correctly, and there were some things that was just like, what? We come off a season, like I said, that's very hit or miss for me, but then we go into this great Christmas special, which I really, really enjoyed. It hit all the right marks, and I was really concerned when Santa Claus was going to be involved in it because I didn't want it to just be hitting you over the head with, this is Christmas, there's the North Pole and everything, but they found a way to incorporate Santa Claus into it where it made sense because you didn't know for sure if he was ever real, because he could have been a hallucination. You know, these aliens are attaching themselves to people and bring them into fantasy worlds while they feed off their
I mean, if they had turned out that Santa Claus is real, I would have found that a little odd, but I'd be like,
they left a little wink at the end. What if?
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, Robin Hood's real now. That's what the episode confirms. Well, if Robin Hood's real, I mean, I guess Santa Claus could be real.
And for me, this is when Peter Capaldi really came into his own as the Doctor. This is when his Doctor, the douchey side met the more compassionate side and kind of blended together, and now you have Capaldi at his best.
Yeah.
And I thought he was great. I thought he and Clara's relationship was great in the episode. I thought it had some really tense moments, some moments that were really good with like horror, but it also had very sweet moments. They fixed a lot of things. I think they fixed the Pink storyline partly in this one. They made it feel more complete to me in terms of an arc.
Yeah.
It also had some, really great side characters, and the ending was very touching too. And how, at one point you thought that the Doctor missed her whole life and she was old and everything. And
yeah, which was like, which is what, and they were recreating that scene from Day of the Doctor when the Doctor's old and like, they're trying to open that paper wrap sausage link thing. I don't know. I guess that's a British thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, no, I like that reverse. Now he's the old one. Now she needs, she needs his help. She's old and she's lived a long life. I liked it was a cute little reversal there.
So anyway, that covers the initial run of Peter Capaldi's first season. We are going to be going into his second season in our third parter, where we will also be speculating about the future of Doctor Who.
Exactly. And I'm excited for it because even though it's the ups and downs of Capaldi's first season, I was still excited to see what was going to happen in the next one. So I'm definitely excited to give you guys our thoughts on it and what we see as happening afterwards. But until that time, I'm Vincent.
And I'm Mike.
This has been Is that the engine? Wait, are we landing?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Hello, sexy.
I told you! I told
So
you!
much better now. Oh. My God.